Hello, friends. This is Lucy Fleury-Lavie. Welcome on Worldwide Spiritual Growth on Meetup. Um, I hope you are well. Because I am not very good, I'm not ready technically yet to start some Zoom live events online. I am I am offering you this series of audio, okay? So you can still put your comments or ask questions, or, don't hesitate to send me direct messages and to have a chat if you want to have a chat on WhatsApp, etc. So I decided to start with the spiritual importance, the spiritual power of letting go. We are we are living in a world where masculine values have been front stage and very dominant for many centuries. So obviously we need to live in harmony and balance. We need to have both. We need a balance between masculine value and spiritual feminine virtues. We need to keep this balance, and when we go to one extreme or the other, then we have a kind of, we enter in a toxic side. And we have been balancing in a kind of toxic masculinity, which is leading us to excess of overdoing and identifying ourselves with ambition, pushing, rather than being. We tend to think that acting, initiating, show a lot of positive energy. Unfortunately, when we want to manifest, for instance, spiritually, the more we push, the more we get blocked and the less we manifest. A lot of people, come with interrogations about the law of attraction, etc. And they say, oh, I do everything, all the, the affirmations, the mantra, meditation, etc. Yes, but if it's all ego led, if it's all about, your Cartesian mind, what we call the monkey mind, if it's always controlled by the ego or the lower self, you're not going to get anywhere, because there is a resistance in the subconscious programming. And this resistance, the more you want to produce something, the more you will unconsciously self-sabotage. And that's why you are not getting the results you want. The problem is actually, one of the root of the problem is also in self-will. We believe that we are the center of the world, our ego is, and it's all about keeping up appearances, being the first, fame, money, etc. All these deviations from the, good male value, balancing us in toxic masculinity, are actually coming because we are failing to receive the correct spiritual revelation, the highest light, which only can cleanse us and liberate us. When we, the expression I really dislike, because I consecrated my life to spirit-free, spiritual and humanitarian work, is the end justify the means, okay? It's absolutely horrible. And when you are ready to walk over dead bodies to get what you want, that's where it becomes very, very unhealthy. And you don't realize that not only you are destroying, you are part of the negative vibes destroying our planet, but you self-sabotage yourself in a major way. So, obviously, if you are here, you are motivated by universal love, and you are genuine people trying to, receive spiritually the grace to move into the highest good for all. Because obviously, if you don't see the big picture, you cannot even determine what is really good for you, what is the best plan ahead for you. And we have ideas, we have natural talents, we have, and it's okay to have drive, ambition in a balanced way. That's we know we need it to get out of the bed and do something, to initiate action, to get out of our comfort zone, etc., etc., to see things moving, basically. But if we just limit ourselves to this acting side, this pushing side, it's going to throw us sometimes, as some said, the worst thing that can happen to you is for you to get your wishes, because if you didn't reassess your wishes, if you didn't allow the universe of Source Divine to come and enlighten you about your own choices, that maybe some of them are not the best plan for you, then you will fall in traps each time, okay? And it's very long after to heal from, broken hearts, etc., etc. So I would like to explain that the letting go is precisely cultivating, in a sense, or non-cultivating, because it's a non-doing. It's welcoming feminine spiritual virtue, one of them being receiving. And some think it's like a laziness or a waste of time or a weakness, but it's not, because it's so important to allow this space, this kind of vacuum, if you want, to receive higher light spiritual revelations, and also to get cleansed in our subconscious, and also to get transmuted from our shadow self to a light being. And we do that by reconnecting to our divine, original, higher self, okay? And through Source Divine, obviously. So when we do this reconnection, we can't do it, as I say, in pushing, because there is a resistance, and of the ego and the lower self, who obviously sabotage this. So the best way of doing it is by non-doing it. And how are we going to non-do it? Okay, I mean, I just go back to an explanation here. When you even meditate, because you say you want to receive or you want to contemplate, you have to be very careful not to do it from an ego or lower self-driven attitude, controlling attitude, because it's only going to limit you to what I was saying, the Cartesian mind, the monkey mind. A lot of people say, they tell me, oh, I do a lot of spiritual work. And in fact, they're getting worse, not better. They are hurting themselves more each day. Why? Because these activities, it's still about doing unconsciously. They are still pushing on themselves, on their limits, to do breathing exercise or to do some meditation, which are supposed to be the ones helping you to let go and meditate, etc., and receive. Unfortunately, sometimes we've been so much used to achieve, being high achiever. We are told all the time in our, in our society, we have to be high achievers. It's all in our subconscious. So we push and push even in the spiritual activities, which are actually supposed to help us to let go, okay? So we need to release, sometimes we need to release all spiritual activity, in a sense. We need to just relax. Sometimes, just even sleeping, deep sleep, can help you to let go. Because obviously, you are getting deeply healed and cleansed when you are sleeping, precisely because you don't have this. Some speak also about the alpha stage, between wake and sleep. But still, if you're still working hard at obtaining that, it's not going to help. So the complete let go, just go for a walk in nature, just do a hobby you like, just fall asleep, just have a hot bath, or, whatever is allowing you to completely disconnect with this inner attitude of pushing to manifest spiritually, which is going to be obviously sabotaged by your counterfeit spirit or your shadow self. When we let go of our own efforts, what is limiting is precisely our own self will and our own efforts, okay? Because we are limited, we're limiting ourselves to a fraction of the huge power of the Holy Spirit, of the highest light. We need to be receptive to this higher light to not only be transformed from but to receive the power, to allow the highest light, the Holy Spirit, to manifest through us infinite light and love and universal love. Obviously, I'm only talking to benevolent people here, okay? So we receive, actually, when we open to spiritual revelation and spiritual penetration, in a sense of through the Holy Spirit, we are opening to receive a higher vibration and contain a wider heart energy, which help us to reconnect further to our own original divine higher self in Source Divine, or the universe, whatever you call it. So then we can receive more, and we can just manifest more and give more, because we are not limited to our own limited ego. We are actually have benefited from a transmutation, a transformation, which has helped us to completely reconnect in a better way each time to our own higher light being. What happens is that we sometimes, experience lots of blocks in trying to do it by ourselves without receiving such revelation and without allowing such powerful inner transformation. We can allow, the highest light and the Holy Spirit, universal love, to give us, because when we learn to receive by letting go, then we can receive more spiritual gifts and inner treasures and highest wisdom in a more powerful way. And which is infinite. I mean, we are on a journey here, okay? We are on a journey. It's starting with a small vase, small recipient, and progressively we are extending our capacity to receive, and then to make it our own, to reconnecting to our own original identity, the divine identity. And we are then manifesting it and giving it, sharing it with others, so that we are all on a journey. We are not, in the divine presence, Holy Spirit, or stream of light visiting us. Obviously, there is a huge, infinite love and power, etc. And we're not going, obviously, to be able to contain that in one day. But we are regenerated by the feminine aspect of Source Divine, the Holy Spirit, by opening up, is a beginning of a process of a restoration of our light body, of our light ascension. I want to just give. I'm going to stop for today because I don't want it to make it too complicated. But what I want to say is that we can see because it's the end of the year and obviously the festive celebrations are very often ending up sometimes in divorce. I mean, I just read an article about it, that at the end of the year, when the new year comes, a lot of people are asking for divorce. Why? Because precisely they chose to spend their holiday in bracket extended family, sometimes negative family and false friends, as an obligation in pushing that they want to have the stereotyped perfect in bracket family. Okay, and unfortunately, you see, that's a very good example when it turns toxic and when basically what was beautiful, a loving family is ending by a divorce because of pushing too hard on trying to be perfect, okay? So they're obviously well motivated. I'm talking about genuine people here who want to love their extended family and friends, but sometimes pushing things when they are toxic elements or negative vibrations doesn't allow the space to heal for each individual, and put together it's like a pressure cooker, it's explode. Okay, so we have here a difference, for instance, between the West and I am from a European melting pot, but I was born in Africa, so I know very well Muslim. I was in a Muslim country. We see, for instance, in India as well, in other countries, or more south, that they are more relaxed about things. They are more spiritual, actually, because they are letting go. One could say, oh, that's lazy, or you don't want to have a rundown hotel or something, no, a house which is not very clean. But, if you have your house impeccably clean, but you are all tied up and stuck up and you're going to explode, that's not good either. Jesus even was saying that to the Pharisees, to the religious, you clean the outside of the cup because you want, to pretend and to be seen as perfect, to get a public recognition, but you don't clean the inside of your cup. Okay, so the problem is if you are sick inside and full of dirt in your subconscious, and that's a cancer that's going to kill you and your family spiritually. Okay, so it's better sometimes to drop, not to have a perfect ambitious life with the latest car and technology or a perfectly clean house, but to allow the space individually in each family, each one of us, we need time to let go and respect this time. One could call that a me time for each other. We need to have a time where we just go and have a nap, or just, relax and disconnect with the whole thing. Is the same in extended family and friends. They can be very good at the beginning, but if we don't allow this space, if we want to force things instead of going with the flow, we end up with everybody gets upset and everybody becomes toxic. And sometimes as well, unfortunately, when we are more about showing off and overacting than truly being real and letting go, we tend to criticize each other negatively. And it's very creepy because some pretend to be well-intended or telling you the truth, but actually, progressively, they allow their lower self and their ego to take charge and control, and then their negative criticism is absolutely negative. I would say, it's destroying your life, and so you have to be very careful of toxic relationship. Toxic relationship can become toxic. They can be very good at first, but then when you see that a relationship is becoming toxic, it's better, it's more loving to allow space, to these friends or extended family or whatever, to have the space to let go precisely and do some work on themselves, but not by non-doing. Okay, so I am sorry if it sounds a bit, it's dialectic, it's not contradictory, but I hope it helps. If you want to leave your comments, or if you have questions, don't hesitate to come to me and send me a direct message or make a comment, a public comment or whatever question. I wish you all a very happy New Year, very sunny New Year, and I'm showing here sunflowers because I want to send you plenty of inner sunshine from Heart Energy. And, our sun is always shining inside when we let go and expose ourselves, receive the highest light. Much love to all of you.